Winterfest opens this weekend at Kings Island, and while there's lots to see and do, there are 5 specific experiences that you've got to experience. Hello, everyone. Alongside the dogmatic Ryan Sir, I'm Don Helbig, and this is Tower Topics.
Tower Topics is a podcast by Kings Island fans for Kings Island fans, because that's who we are and that's who we care about. Don, let's kick off this Winterfest edition of Tower Topics by thanking our prestige members: Jacob Fix, Miss Mandy 1983, Lil Mac 21, Brian Hauser, Logan Lipper 330T, and Aaron Bort. So thank you for being YouTube members at the highest level. That's the prestige level. If you want to be more involved with Tower Topics, you can become a YouTube member, get early access to content, exclusive content, members only live streams, and some tiers even get some free stuff. So link in the description for that. So Don,
Winterfest opening, this weekend, and like I mentioned, lots of things to see and do, but 5 things in particular that you want to do. We talk about Winterfest. The hours are short. It's not a long day like the summer. It's typically 5 to 10 p.m. except for Saturdays when it opens at 4. So you basically have 5 or 6 hours to try to get in what you really want to do. But here are 5 things that we highly recommend that you don't miss. We'll start off with Snowflake Lake ice skating.
Yeah, Snowflake Lake. I mean, we've discussed this at length. It's nice to centralize this, because if you have the opportunity to skate on the fountain at Kings Island, and especially if you haven't yet, like, what are you waiting for? It's a good sheet of ice. It includes the rental and the price of the purchase, and you get to see the view of International Street kind of in a different way from inside the fountain.
Yeah, you're not going to find a more picturesque skating opportunity really almost anywhere in the country. I mean, it's just beautiful with the Eiffel Tower in the background, like you said, International Street, all lit up. And while your session might be 90 minutes, you don't have to be out there for 90 minutes. Most of the time, 20 minutes skating around the Royal Fountain, that is a pretty good workout. But that's something that, you have to really experience if you haven't done it before. And even if you've never ice skated before, you got to give it a try. Don't be afraid. They've got things there too that can kind of help assist you, help you move around the ice if you're not able to kind of stand up on the skates. But you really have to try. It's so much fun too, especially if you're with family and friends.
Yeah, it's such a good time, and we discussed this before, but almost nobody on there is a hockey player or a figure skater. So you're going to have like 3% of the people that know what they're doing. Nobody else is going to know what they're doing. So you're not going to look like a fool. So give it a shot.
Yep.
What kind of opportunity do you have to do this?
Exactly. All in the name of fun.
In the name of fun, right? Next up,
we have Tinker's Toy Factory. This is a can't miss show. It's in the Kings Island Theater. This is a favorite of mine, Ryan. It's something that, I definitely, every time I'm at Winterfest, I have to see this show.
This might be my favorite theme park show that Kings Island's ever done.
That's
there's a lot
something
up there. It really is, and I'm saying the culmination of, let's say, the 2005 version, which was the first time I ever saw it. It was brought back to the Fest House, and they had the Christmas Fever one, which went back to being the original, and now it's still Tinker's Toy Factory, but they're not doing the Fever thing. But all those together really kind of make up. It's something special. It's emotional. Fantastic performers, dancers, cool costumes. It's just such a great show, and I'm so glad it's back in the theater.
Yeah, that's the right place for it. I remember, when Winterfest first came back, they tried this in the Fest House. Just really didn't work. Too many distractions there, with guests walking back and forth in front of the stage with their tray of food, looking for their family and friends, people at the table, just having conversations with each other, which kind of made it hard to hear the dialogue and that was going on stage. So it's perfectly suited for the Kings Island Theater.
Yeah, it's a jukebox musical, so it tells a story, and it's got your favorite Christmas songs in it. If you don't see this, I don't know what you're doing, for real. Like, this is number one for me. Like, if I was going to go to Winterfest and do one thing, this would be it.
Yeah, it's on the list. If I had to pick one thing, I might pick this as well, Ryan.
Yeah, next up,
we've got the ice carvers. This is something, I think it's one of the most underrated things at Winterfest. You've got these talented ice carvers. They make all these different sculpts. It's fun to maybe see the first show and then come back later at the end of the night to see how it all materialized.
Yeah, I like how it's, you look at the picture that's on the screen now, and you've got this cloudy piece of ice, and you kind of think that that's what it's going to look like. But he uses blowtorches and stuff, and it becomes like glass, like
Yeah, like
crystal
crystal
clear.
clear. Right, right. I mean, again, very talented. You'll be amazed at the different sculpts that they make, and it's something that again, you can't miss this if you go to Winterfest. You gotta check it out.
Yeah. Next up,
Well, obviously the Winterfest Wonderland Parade. It wouldn't be Winterfest without the parade now, would it?
the Winterfest Wonderland Parade is, I thought I loved the Carnival Parade. I think I like this one better though.
This one to me is the better of the two parades too. I think it really is a way, especially it's at night. So it's, with it being dark like that, I think that really adds to it. Where in the summer with the Grand Carnival parade, it's not always been at night. Sometimes, you lose a little bit of the floats, how they can be all lit up and everything when it's done during the daytime. But no, this is spectacular. It's Disney caliber, I think, and it certainly can't miss.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the parade floats for Disney, and they're much bigger and stuff. But as far as like the lighting and the detail and stuff like this, I think that it's fair to say that if Disney were going to put a parade at Kings Island, it would be something similar to this.
It
You
would
know,
be. And do you have a favorite float?
the train one that's on the screen now is really good. I like the ice skating one. Then they have like a one that had like a chimney that puts smoke up. I'm
Yeah, I
trying to
think I recall
remember.
that one. I think I recall that one. But no, for me, it's the train. I think it's just such a great visual. You want to have your camera ready
Mhm.
as the parade is going by because there's going to be a lot of great visuals. You've got the Winterfest characters, the Merritt characters. They're all along the parade route too, and it's interactive with the guests. So it's certainly something, and especially if it starts at 8:30. So if that's going to be the thing that you end your night with, it's a great way to cap off a fun and memorable night at Winterfest.
Yeah, I'd recommend watching it from International Street because that way you get the snope, the fake snow. They used to do it all around the parade route, but I don't think that they do it like at Coney Mall anymore, places like that. So watch on International Street, you get the special lighting and you get the snow. But get there early
Here's a
because
tip too. You can also, maybe by the entrance of the race or start out there and
Mhm.
watch the parade come towards you. And as it makes that turn by the racer entrance, then kind of cut through behind like um, Tony Barbecue, Grand
Mhm.
Carousel, the Eiffel Tower, cut through and then make your way to International Street. Then actually you can see the parade twice in one night.
That's two parades for the price of one, Don, by my
That's
math.
right. That's right. But that's a great way to try to do it too, is to make, if you're only going to be at Winterfest once, why not see the parade twice? But that's the way you can do it. You can see it coming towards you by the racer. And then, like I said, cut through that area. You beat the parade up to International Street, get a spot there, and you'll get to see it twice.
Yeah, that should be a billboard. You forget if you're only going to visit Winterfest once, you might as well see the parade twice.
That's right.
All right, number 5, when we save the best for last.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm going to let you talk about this because you sold me on this.
Yeah, so this is the meatloaf uh, burger at the brew house. And so I don't eat meatloaf on a regular basis. In fact, my family growing up never really did meatloaf. My mom and my sister are both vegetarians, so we could never have anything like good growing up. So meatloaf was kind of out of the question. But this one, uh, I mean, it's thick meatloaf patties. It's got the pickles on it, and it's got the tomato based sauce on it as well as the cheese. So it's just so good. If you like the pub burger, this is kind of in the same vein. It doesn't taste like it because meatloaf does not taste like hamburger, but you got to try this one. I look forward to this every year. This is my favorite Winterfest special meal.
And on the dining plan, correct?
And classically, it has been on the dining plan. I believe it is this year.
Yeah, well, like you said, you sold me on that, and it looks, delicious. And I would say, Ryan, if this tastes half as good as that picture looks, Kings Island guests are in for a real treat.
Save it for Thanksgiving.
That's right. They're all in for a real treat there. But no, these are five things that, Ryan and I, uh, as you're trying to really make the most of your night, these are the five things that we feel that you cannot miss. Uh, there's so many things to see and do there that you really can't. There's no way you can capture it all in one night. You have to go multiple times, which makes a season pass worth having. But if you're only going to be there one time, these are our recommendations.
Yeah, they can't miss. Don, t-shirts.
Tower Topics t-shirts now available. You can get yours for just $22. That includes shipping. Comes in a Carolina blue. If you're interested, just send us a message, a direct message on our X, which is tower_topics, or you can send an email to me at theme parks by Don. It's Don Helbig at themeparksbydon.com. We'll send you the QR code to make your purchase. And once your shirt has been purchased, the transaction has gone through. It only takes a matter of days to get your shirt. Again, just $22, includes the shipping, whatever size you might need. And it also makes a great holiday gift for that Kings Island fan on your shopping list.
Yep, $22, including shipping. Great deal. We'll be right back with your stories. Okay, today's story is from Beth Ann M from Finneytown, Ohio, which is my dad's hometown, by the way. I still remember the excitement of my first visit to Kings Island in 1988. It was a warm summer day, and the moment I walked through the front gates, I was greeted by the sight of the Eiffel Tower standing tall in the distance. I didn't know where to start. Should I head straight to the Beast or take it slow and with a ride on the carousel? It was neither. The first ride I ever went on was the Racer. From there, it was a blur of laughter, funnel cakes, and trying to win a stuffed animal at a game where I had no chance of beating. By the time the day ended, I was exhausted, sticky with ice cream, and already begging my parents to bring me back. That visit wasn't just my first trip to Kings Island, it was the start of a lifelong love of the park. And I think everybody remembers their first visit to the park. I love these stories.
You can't forget your first visit and your first ride. My first ride at Kings Island was their spinning keggers.
Mm-hmm.
It was because we walked down International Street. We made a left, and there it was. It was like the first ride we came to. So that was the first one I did. My first roller coaster was the Racer. So good choice there, Beth Ann, and picking the Racer as your first ever ride. But yeah, I mean, those first visits, you remember that. And, once you visit Kings Island, I mean, you just love the park, and it's something that sticks with you and something that you want to do, um, over and over again. Now, there's a lot of people that I know that, they visited, one time. They don't live in the area, but 15 years later, they come back and they still have vivid memories of that first ever visit. They visit other amusement parks around the country, but they don't have those memories that Kings Island delivers.
Yeah, and there's something sacred about the Eiffel Tower. It's so big and so intimidating. You walk onto International Street and you feel like you're in the presence of the Taj Mahal. Like it's so well done and well presented. And I know that the original intention, because everybody rags on the International Restaurant, but it's to block your full view of International Street till you walk into the park.
Yeah, that's what the front gate. I mean, the first year the International Restaurant was not there, but it was still blocked. But as
Mhm.
good as that entry experience is, and you see the fountain in the Eiffel Tower, I mean, it used to be even that much more impressive when you had the sky ride, with the colorful gondolas going across in front of the Eiffel Tower, and you didn't have the fountain built up around it like it is now. You didn't have the fencing and everything, so you could almost walk up to it virtually. But yeah, so as soon as you walked in, I mean, the fountain was like low enough that you could see. You didn't have that built up in front like that. So it's changed over the years, but still, just I think the only to me, the two most magical places when you first walk in, it's Kings Island and the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, well, I complain about the Seven Seas Lagoon boats and stuff, but especially for your first time, it's so incredible. And then you can see the castle from Ticket and Transportation, but you can't really see it when you're on land until you walk through the tunnels. So I think that's exactly what they kind of had in mind. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. I love those stories of the first visit to Kings Island. But we'll be right back with the listener questions.
I like turtles.
All right, first listener questions from Cooper Trey 325 from Fort Mill, South Carolina. Will Son of Beast 2.0 ever happen?
Only if you build it in Roller Coaster Tycoon.
So if he builds it in Roller Coaster Tycoon, it's going to happen. Is what you're telling me.
Well, we get this question. I would say probably, Ryan, 3 out of every 10 questions we get is about Son of Beast. I mean, the ride last operated in 2009. So what's that, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
People still ask about it. It's not coming back. But we appreciate the questions, and
Yeah, well,
we'll
let's
continue. Yeah,
clarify our thoughts because I feel like we're kind of grazing over this, but there might be some people that haven't heard our tirades. And basically, the conclusion that Don and I kind of share, and you can add your input or discredit me or whatever you want, is that with certain enthusiast communities, Son of Beast is beloved and they miss it and they want to have an RMC version. But for the vast majority of people, Son of Beast was this rough ride that was
Mhm.
rarely open. So there's no real equity in the name for broad appeal. So if they were to build a ride and call it Son of Beast 2 or Son of Beast or whatever version you want to call it, they're running a big risk of people thinking that they rebuilt what they had before, which would be a bad thing.
Yeah, it just had so many design flaws. It just didn't work. You have to move on. And like, eventually, after exploring every possible opportunity on how we can fix and save this, it just didn't work. And cut its losses, moved on, and now you have Banshee in that area.
Yeah. I think we came out ahead with Banshee, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I remember my first ride on Son of Beast on Media Day, and as I got off the train, different media approached me and stick the microphone in your face, and they're like, how does it compare to the Beast? How does it compare to its father? And I just said, similarities are different. Because it wasn't, I think when you name it Son of Beast, the expectation was going to be there that it was going to be as good or even better, than the original. And you know, it just wasn't. And that's the problem a lot of time. I mean, you see it with movies all the time too. It's like the sequels are never hardly as good as the original.
Yeah, but I honestly don't think it's from lack of trying. Like, I feel like they didn't try to overpromise and underdeliver because if you look at what they built,
Oh,
they
they tried
yeah.
to make it incredible, and it just didn't work. There's a reason why wooden roller coasters didn't go that high and have drops like that and make turns coming out of the drop like that at those kind of speeds.
Mhm.
Um, it just and there were people that had worked at Kings Island for years, in maintenance and construction, and they all had reservations about it because they knew, just working on the Beast, how hard that ride was to maintain. So a lot of people knew it was going to be problematic from the beginning and moved forward with it anyway. And well, we saw what the result was. It's just a roller coaster that did not work.
Okay. Next question, John C. from Amelia, Ohio. Do you think this is John Cena? Is he from Amelia, Ohio?
No
That's
idea.
this doesn't sound like a John Cena question. Okay. With all the free publicity and nonstop chatter you're generating for Kings Island, do you think the park's comms guy will at least throw you on his Christmas card list? Or is that reserved for the suck up to the park influencers? Well, I don't think they get Christmas cards, do they?
I don't know. No.
I
We
got one
won't.
when Paramount was around, but I don't think Cedar Fair ever did Christmas cards for people like me, at least. Maybe like corporate partners, but I never got a Christmas card.
Yeah, we do not anticipate. We'll be like Charlie Brown going to the mailbox every day. Nothing in there for us.
Yeah, very sad. But no, I don't think we're going to be on that list. But thank you for the question anyway, John C. Hey, I'm Ryan. But first of all, enjoy Winterfest this weekend, everybody. I'm Ryan Sir, along with Don Helbig, and this is Tower Topics.